Welcome to Week 5 of the passive phase in the Thinsulin program. We hope that by now you clearly understand what it takes to keep up with your weight loss goals. Congratulations, you are allowed to eat 2 portions of the Enjoyment Red Light foods so far. The goal for this week is to learn what fuels you best and to avoid bad foods such as trans fat. From this moment on, you can continue eating 2 portions of enjoyment foods per day. However, if you are the type of people who love carbs and 2 portions of enjoyment foods are not enough for you, you still crave rice, pasta, and breads, then you can continue increasing half portions of red light foods per week until you reach 5 portions total per day. For example, if you want to increase up to 4 portions of carbohydrate per day, it would take you a total of 8 weeks. Half portions per week times 8 equals 4 portions. Please remember to choose carbohydrate with low GI and GL. You may review Week 9 to refresh your memory. Please understand these following principles. First principle, you may eat enjoyment foods such as cookies, cake, ice cream, and other delicious desserts from this week on. However, you have to count 1 portion of dessert as 2 portions of carbohydrate. For example, you are going to the birthday party tonight and you really want to eat a piece of chocolate cake for dessert. You have to avoid red light foods for the whole day so that you can enjoy 1 portion of birthday cake at dinner time. Here is the example menu if you want to eat a portion of birthday cake on Sunday night. Second principle, you still need to avoid sodas or other kinds of sweet drinks. You can only eat sweet desserts once per day. Avoid sweets during snacks. You also need to avoid beer. If you want, you may have a glass of wine or a shot of hard liquor instead. The main reason why you have to avoid sodas and other sweets for the next couple of weeks is because they usually have fructose in the form of high fructose corn syrup, HFCS. Fructose is one of the substances that can damage newly made insulin receptors and worsen insulin resistance. Like sodas, sweet desserts also have HFCS. You are allowed to eat sweet desserts because, psychologically, you dare not eat too much of the sweet desserts. At least you have some control over that piece of pie. Sodas are different. You usually have no control over sodas and other sweet snacks. Therefore, you must avoid them at all costs. Third principle, you need to avoid foods that may have trans fat in them. For example, avoid French fries from fast food restaurants and potato chips. Let's learn more about trans fat this week. There are 2 types of fats, solid fat and liquid fat, also known as cooking oils. Fat is made of many units known as fatty acids. Solid fat differs from liquid fat because of the number of hydrogen atoms and double bonds. Solid fat stays solid because it has more number hydrogen atoms. When you take away the hydrogen atoms, the fat becomes softer. When you take away even more hydrogen atoms, the fat becomes a liquid like cooking oil. In reverse process, you can add hydrogen atoms to cooking oil to make it solid like margarine. In the process of solidifying the cooking oil, trans fat is created. According to this picture, when hydrogens stay on the opposite side, it is known as trans fat. When the hydrogens stay on the same side, it is cis fat. Almost all plant oils and most animal fats are in the cis form. However, trans fats are man-made. Almost all living things, including human beings, can't digest trans fat. As you can see, saturated fats are usually animal fats. Eating saturated fats may cause heart disease. Eating trans fat also may cause heart disease and other diseases such as obesity, diabetes, and cancer. If trans fat is so bad, why is it available for the consumer? The reasons are 1. Profit. Trans fat is tasty and cheap to produce. Secondly, it can preserve foods well. Since it is artificially made, most living things, including fungi and bacteria, can't break it down. Thus, foods having trans fat can stay on the shelves for years and still taste fresh. Now you have more choices of enjoyment foods to choose. Please choose wisely because if you choose wrong groups of foods, you may gain back the weight. Remember to avoid sodas and potato chips. Downhill your road's easy. Now you can pick plenty of foods, but don't too much rejoice. Wrong choices you make, destroy yourself. Thank you. This program is brought to you by Dr. Thinsulin ENG, MD, together with Dr. Charles Nguyen, MD, the authors of the Thinsulin program, the breakthrough solution to help you lose weight and stay thin. Stay tuned for the next episode.